I'm Colton Wall, also known as Colton W83. I flew in here from Texas to Madrid, Spain for this international Clash Royale tournament called Gamergy Masters, and I'm looking to compete with Team Queso this weekend and hopefully win.
There is a lot of blood, sweat, tears, elixir leading up until this point. There were 128 finalists that were competing for the top spot for 6,000 euros as a first place prize. Here we are in the finals. Loser walks home with 3,000 euros. Winner, 6,000 euros, but most importantly, the title of the #1 victor. Most of these battles weren't about like the best deck you have, it was what kind of deck you thought your opponent had, so you could counter the counter to their counters. Colton plants down a battle ram to distract the knight and the baby dragon. Meanwhile, he plants the night witch, tanks the skeletons, and uses the bats to kind of control the skeletons that are spawning, but the poison takes everything out. Colton tanks the baby dragon with a bandit, and Jigsaw replies by countering it with skeletons. Jigsaw's baby dragon does land one hit on the tower, rotations reset. This is not looking too bad for Colton because his focus right now is just to pump up. Right there, he's got another pump, so it doesn't really matter as long as he can defend and survive for this. He's got a really big push coming. With a baby dragon, most likely he has a golem or a P.E.K.K.A. So he's going in again with a knight and baby dragon. The baby dragon's gonna have a really hard time taking the tower, and Jigsaw's baby dragon locks into the tower, takes it out, but that's okay because Colton does have an elixir lead right now. 2 elixir pumps, 25 seconds until double elixir time. He's got a P.E.K.K.A. down, doesn't matter, with the battle ram supporting the P.E.K.K.A. So Colton supports the P.E.K.K.A. with the battle ram behind. The bowler can't do too much with the P.E.K.K.A. tanking for everything, so he uses tornado. Colton is looking for a good value poison right now, and then it gets the knight. She gets 2 swings on the bowler, turns to the right, hits the knight, then the skeletons do not distract it because the bandit locks onto the skeletons. Bandit dashes, locks onto the tower. P.E.K.K.A. gets one shot on the tower, and that's a lot of damage already. This is looking really good for Colton. And then there's the night witch. She's just kind of slowly waddling her way, smacks the tower. Bats don't really get onto the tower because that baby dragon's there, but that was perfect. 571 health. That's 2 poisons and 1 log away from taking out the tower. Colton is at a bit of an advantage right now just because Jigsaw is running the tank graveyard deck. It's really hard to get a 2-0 victory with this graveyard deck. He's going in applying pressure. It doesn't really matter. His battle ram doesn't need to connect. The reason he played that battle ram was to draw Jigsaw's bowler or knight or anything just so that he could poison more than just the tower. And that is perfect. The tower is down to 235 health. Tournament standard poison does 240 damage. Right at this point, it doesn't really matter. He's got a really big push with Bandit, Night Witch, and the Baby Dragon. He might have overcommitted a little bit, but Jigsaw pushes really hard on the left side using Graveyard and the Night Witch. This is a perfect response for Jigsaw. He shouldn't have defended the right side since he was going to lose it no matter what with that poison, so he's doing a lot of damage. Good call on Jigsaw's part. Rather than defending the right side, losing all of his units, he dealt over 2,000 damage on the left side. Now with one tower down, Colton's biggest fear is getting a tank and Graveyard, so maybe like a Baby Dragon in the middle and then the Graveyard on the Princess Tower. So Colton plants a P.E.K.K.A. right in front of the King's Tower. What this does is it allows him to defend against the Night Witch or a Knight planted in the center, so Jigsaw can't plant any tank plus Graveyard in that combination. Jigsaw's trying to defend, but Colton's main goal right now is to not let any tanks pass. He's gonna fight everything at the bridge. Bandit goes down, dashes onto the Knight, and he didn't even exist. Then he plants down a battle ram. It does not connect, but he's applying a lot of pressure, and that is his goal right now. If he stops applying pressure, he will most likely lose to Graveyard tank. So he's gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing and battling on Jigsaw's side, because if any of those tanks tank for a Princess Tower, that Graveyard's gonna just finish it off. Colton plants a P.E.K.K.A. to block the bowler. Nothing passes through. Jigsaw plants that Graveyard. It's kind of naked, which is not gonna do anything, even with that poison, just because the King's Tower is activated. Naked Graveyard's not gonna do that much damage. What Jigsaw could have done a little bit better is plant the Graveyard 2 tiles to the right. That way, it just surrounds the Princess, surrounding all corners of it, making it a little bit harder to counter. Colton going with a Bandit, locks on, dashes onto the tower. Baby Dragon's already locked on. It's way too late. He's dealt the bulk of the damage to the tower. It's down to 333. That is one log, and that is one poison to end the game. Jigsaw knows this, so he plants down a Graveyard. This is a really tight match. Colton knows he could lose it at any time, so he plants a P.E.K.K.A. right at the bridge. Does not allow the bowler to cross the bridge. Jigsaw knows he could lose this, but there is Night Witch. It gets really close. The P.E.K.K.A. is too low in health to reach the tower, but Colton does have a poison, one log or Baby Dragon's Breath, and that is good game. There were so many big players, all working really hard. They've been training for a month straight leading up to this point. Every single player in the top 16 worked really, really hard. Congratulations again to Colton for winning first place in the Gamergy Masters Clash Royale Tournament. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more quality OJ.
Otro aplauso por favor para el ganador que está llorando de la emoción. Colton que llora de emoción. Sí señor, que bien ha jugado campeón. Jigsaw, 1000 euros también su móvil. Subcampeón de la primera Gamergy Masters. Recordad que tendremos ese yo, así que seguramente veamos muchas más cosas. Mirad, Royale, ahí está todo Team Queso de nuevo.
Muy buen plantel, lo están tomando muy en serio y la verdad que se merece mucho esto.
Bueno, ¿cómo ha acabado esto? Qué partidazas, qué mejor manera. De hecho, pero espero que también